Good morning, Unity of Gaithersburg. We are about to be live, and I'm wondering if I need to do something about that. Do I need to do share screen? I think we're all set. I'm going to go ahead and do share screen since I don't know what I'm doing. And I guess I need to know if I am live and if this is working. So somehow hello. Well, anyway, I'm going to trust that we're alive, and we're with you right now, I believe. And Lorna Dixon, I don't know if they see you or what. And so we need to do a check. Would someone text Lorna and let us know what the story is? Are we live or not? Are you seeing us or not? I'm not having any clue from my screen. So anyway, for me to continue, I understand there's a snow day in Gaithersburg. I understand you've got a couple inches right now, and you're headed to maybe 3 or 4 or 5. So we're wondering how it's all going. I'm here at Unity Village, and we're doing rather well right now. We have no snow. It's 31 degrees, and it's going to be a warm week. And so, Keith, if you're with us, if there's some way, can you get us a message? I don't know whether it should continue. I have no clue that anything is live on my end. And Lorna and I see each other. Lorna Dixon and I are.
We're live.
We're live.
We're live.
So they, even though we don't know if they're seeing me, they can see us. The multitudes are there. Well, Lorna, say hi to everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all tucked in, staying nice and warm and safe on this snowy day.
Yes, it is that time, isn't it? And
we are live. Yes, you are live.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you. I was wondering. Now I'm taking a breath, and
I see you.
You know, folks, this is really very interesting. I've never done this before. A Sunday service that we spent hours. Keith is one of our AV team members, and it's stunning. We've spent hours on how we were thinking probably there was going to be a snow day in Gaithersburg, sure enough. And then we had to pull something together, not only some things that we're going to be sharing, but the tech part of it. And part of it is, in some ways, this is like flying blind because Laura and I have no clue if anyone's seen us. So does this give new meaning, Laura, to trusting the process, to knowing that God's in charge?
As we hear very frequently nowadays, Steve, we're in new times.
We are in a new time.
We're in new times.
So here we are. And so we're going to open with something that's really very important. Normally, we would have opened, you would have seen a Christ candle lit in your beautiful sanctuary, our beautiful sanctuary. And right now, my candle here is virtual. And I'm at my office at the village, Unity Village, and I really don't want to have a real candle and be here in the building by myself. The place is closed on Sundays, and have the alarm go off. So this is our Christ candle. And also, it's very significant. I don't know if you can see this. This was given to me as stained glass, a depiction of the Unity logo given to me by a spouse of a classmate of mine when I was in ministerial school here at Unity. And so I just sent a text to you, Lauren, before we went live, saying, well, just think, you are the light of the world, and your holiness blesses the world. And so let's take that into prayer for a moment and take a deep breath. And we've heard some of these words before. This is real for right now. You are the light of the world. Your holiness blesses the world. I am the light of the world. My holiness blesses the world. There's a place within us where no matter what is going on, whether it's a snow day, whether it's not, whether it's apparent chaos, whether it's apparent love, and where it's a wholehearted combination of mind and heart, Christ's mind and heart, and knowing that what is real. And so in the name and through the living nature of the Spirit that's within us all, by many names, the Christ Spirit, the Buddha Spirit, the all, universal, unlimited mind, we say thank you. And we are blessed. And so it is. And amen. One thing that, before we keep going, is in some ways we might say this is a disclaimer because there's a part of me that's a recovering perfectaholic. I mean, can any of you identify with this? And as you may discover in a few moments, if you haven't already, that I don't really know how I'm doing at the tech level. Wait a minute, stop that. Ministers aren't supposed to talk like that, are we, Lorna? Please tell me. And so, but what we're doing, we're going to be going back and forth to some slides and some music, and we give so much thanks to so many people that aren't here. You know, right now that you didn't see the music team. You hear them at the beginning. The music team is on a snow day, and we're going to see them in a moment. And in fact, I think that would be the time to open with some music, and then we're going to move into some announcements. This may not have been on a script, but it's what is happening. I just need to find it now. Well, maybe we're not. If you were the music team, where would you be? Okay. So, sorry, music team, you're lost. So you really have the day off. I had to set up somewhere, but it's not coming right now. So, Lorna, you want to talk with us about the transformational opportunities?
Yes, I will. Thank you, Steve. Good morning. Good morning again. This week's transformational opportunities are also detailed in our community newsletter. Receive next week's edition by sharing your email with us. This week, we begin the season for peace and nonviolence. The annual 64-day campaign is an educational, media, and grassroots awareness campaign spanning the January 30th and April 4th memorial anniversaries of Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You can go to the special events page on our website to learn more and participate in the daily reflection. Unity of Gaithersburg celebrates Black History Month. Kathy Daniels, our board president, has put together a short presentation for each Sunday of Black History Month. This is a really, really wonderful event that Kathy has put her heart into. And we are looking forward to sharing this with you very soon.
And one thing I want to add to this, I'm totally excited about what Kathy has pulled together for next month, Black History Month. It is going to be some folks joining us and sharing along with our Sunday music, and also with the message from me, will include the whole month of February. That's celebrating our brothers and sisters, and the whole month is very powerful. So this will be a month of February that you probably won't want to miss.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Steve. Each week we'll have a guest who will share some brief highlights of topics that trace important events in Black history and feature some musical highlights as well. Our social justice team is sponsoring a digital food drive for the Capital Area Food Bank. Contributions to CAFB will help alleviate food insecurity of many of our neighbors in great need at this challenging time. To make a donation to the special events page on our website, or click the link in the newsletter. Join our community fellowship today after service. Yes, this is a time to gather, say hi, and share heart to heart. We'll meet right here back on Zoom today at 12:15. To get the Zoom link, go to our newsletter or send an email to admin@unityofgaithersburg.org.
And I want to really put a plug in for this, what we're calling Heart to Heart Fellowship, right after the service. And quite often after a service in a sanctuary, some people would go to a fellowship area or hall or have coffee or go out for dinner or whatever, or lunch with everyone. But for those of us that are here, my invitation is let's do Heart to Heart Fellowship and gather for a half hour or an hour on Zoom. And maybe you'll have questions. I'll be there. Maybe you'll have questions about the Sunday service, or you're just sort of sharing what's going on with you and connect with others that you don't see probably otherwise other than on Zoom. So Heart to Heart right after the service today.
Yes, let's plan on it. I look forward to seeing you all there. So remember our other Zoom happenings during this time of no in-person activities. Hump Day Happy Hour takes place every Wednesday at 5 p.m. on Zoom. The link is in our newsletter. You can also send an email to admin@unityofgaithersburg.org or click Going on the event page of our Facebook link. And join us for our next prayer circles and experience a spiritual renewal. Are you looking for more spiritual and heart connection? Would you like more clarity, peace, and calm? Join us for our affirmative prayer circles or affirmatively prayer one-on-one with a prayer chaplain in the privacy of a Zoom room. At a prayer circle, your prayer intention is supported by the other attendees while you support theirs. The next prayer circles are tomorrow, February 1st at 7 p.m., or Thursday, February 4th at noon. The prayer circle is less than an hour of your time and accessed easily via Zoom. Again, the Zoom link is in our newsletter, and you can also email admin@unityofgaithersburg.org to get the link. And now, please center yourselves as we reflect together on today's daily word. Our focus for today is now. And our affirmation is, I find my power in this very moment. I'm going to ask you to say that with me. I find my power in this very moment. Let's just breathe that in. There is power in this very moment. Yesterday is past, and tomorrow is not here yet. There is only this moment, ripe with promise and potential, ready for me to live into it fully. Through my many divine gifts, everything I need to get started is within me. I need not wait for the perfect moment to arrive, because there is no time more perfect than now, and no place more perfect than here. Procrastination has no place in my life. I fritter away my energy when I find reasons not to get started, losing my zeal and focus and inviting frustration into my life. Today I claim the power of the present and say, this is the day I begin. Now is the time to begin to serve, to forgive, to create, and to love. And from 2 Corinthians 6:2, we are reminded, see, now is the acceptable time. See, now is the day of salvation. And now, let us settle in and prepare for meditation.
As we center in the silence, we open ourselves to an awareness that's very deep in, as, and through us. And that is the spirit of many names. What is your name for your higher power, your spirit? Is it the Christ self? Is it God? Is it infinite wisdom, divine intelligence? And for this moment in time, where the quiet snowfall reminds us that, there's a silence. And that within this silence, there's a message for us. And sometimes the message comes through the clutter and the busyness, and sometimes the challenges of our life. And there's patterns of all of that, and we are very familiar with them. And I would invite you right now to breathe a little deeper right now. Perhaps you have a vision of the perfect, beautiful snowfall and what that brings to you, or what you bring to it. Or perhaps there's a scene in summertime or wintertime or in springtime or fall, one of your very favorite places. And as we move into the silence, I would invite you to be where you wish to be, where you're guided right this moment, right this very moment, here, now, resting in this awareness. as we return our awareness to this place where we are this very moment. Perhaps it's a place, a physical space that's very familiar with you. And with our eyes wide open, perhaps they're the Christ eyes, we let ourselves move around and see this space with a different level of awareness. Are we aware that there's a place within us always where the Spirit of all that is, Spirit of the Christ, where our Christ self is? And so we're called. I'm called. And you are called. And as you open your mind and your heart to this space, coming back to the snowfall, coming back to this world, join me in the attitude of gratitude that creates the space for grace. I live in grace. I walk in grace. I am my Christ self. I dwell in unity. I dwell in unity consciousness, and I commit to developing a habit of unifying all thoughts. I am committed to unifying all concerns I have. I dwell in union. And so it is. And so it shall be. I don't know about you, but I sure do cherish meditation and downtime and inquiring within time. Now, I need to be here and now, and I'm on my text side now to find where the meditation music used to be. And so folks, just bear with me while I spend a few seconds in browsing through my laptop and my computer and I want to get to some music for you. And you know what? It ain't coming forth. So, what we're going to do is go forth with, let's see. Well, so I am back. This is so surreal. You know, quite often I can do things in my life and people don't notice. I'm doing it in my head, or I'm on my own, or I click cancel the camera. But this is not the way it is. So anyway, today we're going to be talking about something that is focusing on the time in our life where we know there's a season for nonviolence, and there has been for eons. And I think the question is, are we willing to commit to our part in the violence that we have on the planet? And those of you, and many of you that are on this call, you have been participating in the Season for Nonviolence. It's coordinated by the Association for Global New Thought. For those people that are new. And by the way, if you're new to this ministry, Unity of Gaithersburg, I welcome you. And we welcome you with open minds and open hearts. And please join us on the the fellowship time, if you have already received the newsletter, you might see the link after the service today. But you may know a lot about the season for nonviolence. And is it appropriate or not for what's happening to us individually and collectively on the planet, not only in the United States of America, but in everybody on the planet? It's a season for nonviolence. And so I'd like to suggest, how are you being impacted by that? What's happening with you in this season? You hear the idea that we're having something new, and what are you doing in this season for nonviolence? One of the commitments for this time and this first day and this first week is to be committed and having courage to do what is ours to do. And so sometimes, if you're like me, I've been on a spiritual path for a while, and I really developed a lot of intentions and commitments to the spiritual path, my spiritual path. And so what I've done is realizing that sometimes I think I'm doing really, really well. And people are talking about, well, look at this violence. Well, I don't feel violent. Or look at what am I doing around this? And so can we accept some responsibility that through our thoughts, as well as our words and actions, that we have co-created the world that we see and in our own lives, and co-create at the level of consciousness with everyone else what's going on the planet. And so the season for nonviolence isn't for those that are doing violent acts. We've seen enough of that, like the riots January 6th, and we go on in our life. There's when to look for violence, it's there. But what about if we decided that it's within us? We have some responsibility to say, I'm going to do my part. And if I find myself, we've had all kinds of opportunities to choose nonviolence. Every single moment that we're awake, we do. And it's like every single moment that I've been paying attention to the news, but particularly in that past season called what was it called? The season for political strife. And we thought it was going to be done with the election, or we wondered what was going to happen about that. And we wanted to know what we could do about that. I don't know. We want to have a decision that I don't know. What is ours to do? What is yours to do? I easily return to the lack of love. ILL. That's what illness is. I lack love. And so are we waiting for other people to step forward and say, well, yes, this is a great program, and I've been there, done that. And then next month, starting tomorrow, but starting next month, you'll have an incredible opportunity to look at where are you in terms of what's been going on with our Black brothers and sisters going back centuries on this planet, and particularly in the United States of America, and particularly in my life, in your life, and in my own white privilege, in my case, and in my own unconscious bias. What is mine to do? Will I own it? And I have to admit, there are days that I won't use that word. There are days I get irritated. There are days when I think that, won't these people wake up? A vision of the unity movement in the last several years has been that our vision is of a world dramatically and powerfully awakening, having a spiritual awakening, and it's right before our eyes. And I'd say on my good moments, when I really believe this stuff that I talk about, which are most of the days, aren't you glad that I've said that? If I was saying there most days I wasn't that happy about spiritual thoughts, then you shouldn't have had me come here. But I want to join all of you in saying the reason that I think we're here is that we have some work to do. And to use an overall beautiful spiritual theory, one of the most powerful ones on the planet, is that anything unlike love is there for another choice. Now you can think about your last moments when you had a thought that wasn't of love, it wasn't of a positive, wasn't coming from your holiness, that your light that you are, or you hadn't seen it from other people or the same people you think all over again. So could it be that people that aren't not expressing love, including yourself or including myself, are merely calling for love? What their behavior is, if it's not coming from love and expressed as love, and is a call for love. And, that relates to me in my life. One of my challenges was my dad and I quite often were really at loggerheads. I was the middle child of two other brothers. And they say the middle child is quite often the rebel. Well, I sort of fit that, I guess. I don't know about Lorna. Were you ever a rebel? No. I don't. Were you? I don't think you were a rebel, Lorna. Were you?
Well, Steve, I too am a middle child, and we have to chart our own course. So maybe that can be interpreted as being a rebel.
Oh, well, if you were going to say you weren't a rebel, I was going to say, well, there's always time to have that growth opportunity. And I could be a resource in what to do and what not to do, especially what not to do. But anyways, my dad, at the time I was going through some counseling classes and so on and so on. And for the first time, I must have been in my 20s or 30s. And I hadn't discovered unity. I didn't discover unity until I was in my 38 or 30, I don't know, 35. But my dad was angry a lot. And in some ways, it might have been, he was in the Navy. He never really talked about it. And one of my first thoughts as I moved into an awareness of what goes on with those that have been as servants in terms of veterans and police and first responders and so on, was that maybe my dad had some PTSD, some stress, post-traumatic stress. But I don't know. I'm not sure that he did, but he was quite often angry. He would get triggered easily. And I also remember that, he would never apologize to me. My mother always would talk to me, and she was a peacemaker. Sometimes mothers are, and said, Steve, you really need to apologize to your dad, and so on. So eventually I did, but I don't recall that he did. Perhaps I didn't recall it. But one of the things that made it was a huge breakthrough in my understanding of my father, who was chronically angry, was that he was chronically calling for love. My dad was 6'2". My mother was 4'11", and I'm 5'8", 5'9". And so what does that mean? Does it mean, am I going to just rest on what my past experience was and saying my dad, that's, he made a mistake, I'm going to hold my grievances? And that was about the time that I began to, with phone calls, weekly phone calls home to mom and dad. I finally remember the day vividly, calling up and I was sucking it up. I was nervous because I was determined to say this to my dad and my mother. And on the call, I said, well, Mom, I love you. Dad, I love you. And there was a pause, and my mother said, oh, that was wonderful, or thank you, or something like that. And my dad didn't really say much. But it was about that point, and then at some point on, we moved from the old male handshake and even the old pat on the back. How can I pat my back? Pat on my back. Pat on the back. And because you can't get too close because, men are, macho, and we don't really hug. And we may give a brief hug, but a handshake, sometimes it keeps a distance and we have some level of control, we might say. I remember vividly when I began to hug people. And what about you? And I also understand that it is a way of keeping us centered. So what way do you have that reflects your giving love? What about how do we respond when other people are calling for love? And are we triggered immediately because of past history with them? Or is there something else that's going on? I don't know. What is true for you? So it's really possible that there is always room for taking some responsibility for the, quote, violence we see. And so often it's the unsaid violence. It's the feelings that are still grabbing us when we're not aware of it. It's the unconscious bias we have, not only about our brothers and sisters in terms of race and gender and orientation and political party, you name it, but it's our thoughts about them. It's no accident that one of the most powerful principles of unity is the power of our thought. Thoughts held in our mind create after their kind. And do you believe that every thought I have is like, okay, I'm giving this to the world. It's part of my consciousness. So the consciousness, by the way, isn't all love and light. We all add some, quote, negative consciousness, some rage, some anger, some pity, some sorry, some grief, some loss, etc. But what heals all that is when we return to center, return to awareness of who we truly are, awareness of love's presence in, as, and through us. So I'm going to find another slide here. It's here somewhere. I know it is. And, this is some music that we are going to hear. I know I tested it, folks. Trust me. You've heard it. People said, trust me before in your life. So this song is part of the Association of Global New Thought. And they hold a very, very powerful experience every couple of years. And the last one, I believe, it wasn't Australia, but I think the last one was in Salt Lake City. And I've been saying, I really want to go to one of those. They say it's the most powerful, one of the most powerful experiences in life. So imagine hundreds of New Thought people from Unity and other places gathering in Australia on the 9th of December 2009. And this song that we've heard before, Let's Stand Together, sung by Faith Rivera and Doug Laval. And so the words hold some power, because if you have taken time, of course you could say, well, I have a snow day, nothing else to do. Well, that's not really true, you know that. But you have chosen to be a part of a spiritual community in some ways, even if this is only a one-shot affair. Maybe you came to check out the new transitional minister, wow, and say, well, enough of that. And so, but what you have come here to do is to be understanding this is who I've come here to be. I've come here to know that I want to stand together for peace. I want to stand together for that everyone is a light of the world. I want to stand for the holiness that I am and express it to people. And so this song you've heard before, I'm sure, and I know it's going to create some beautiful memories for you. So, and I'm going to find it. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there it is. Now I need to hook up with you again, folks, wherever you are. Where'd you go? This gives new meaning. I realize I talk to myself a lot, but I never really thought that I'd be doing this in front of however many people. How do I get back to where I was? Let's see. No, there it is. Oh, right here. No. I'm trying to find there it is. Oh, the window. Share screen. It minimized itself. How rude. Now, here it is. Right, crank it up.
calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with a world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Of your highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Share your gifts with a world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Hey. One dream, one voice, one heart, one word, one dream, one voice, one heart, one word. Stand together. One dream, one voice, one heart, one word. Stand together. Live the dream of your highest calling. Be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together. Yeah, yeah. Share your gifts with a world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Stand together. Live the dream of a new day dawning. Be the ones who can make a difference. Let's stand together.
Oh, I love that. I love that. We're the ones the world's been waiting for. Is that slightly powerful for you? It blows me away when I think about it, and especially when I'm in a time when I don't think that I know what I'm doing, which is, well, I've demonstrated that. But right now, you are the ones that are making a difference on the planet. And you are the ones that are making a difference for unity of Gaithersburg. So, here's an affirmation. Let's see. You're not seeing this, are you? Okay. Here we go again. Share screen. Share. It may seem real simple to be doing this, but anyway, it's wonderful. Today, I will meditate on and remember each being has their own soul metaphor. Today, I will remember that every belief, even those that make me uncomfortable, imagine that, are different roads taken in pursuit of the same goal, the same truth. And that path is the path to nonviolence. And so this is what's true for us. This is what's true for the planet. And we give thanks that we are here. We give thanks for you. So that's my part on my lesson, my title, my talk, whatever it is. And now I'm going to move into prosperity. And Rona, you are on right now.
Thank you, Steve. And now, this is our time to give from our unlimited abundance and open hearts. Thank you for going to our website or newsletter to give your gifts online. You can also text to give. And please remember that there is much gratitude for your generosity, for your generous hearts. Your contributions help to keep this ministry going. Here is a prosperity affirmation from Louise Hay. I am one with the power that created me. I am totally open and receptive to the abundant flow of prosperity that the universe offers. All my needs and desires are met before I even ask. I am divinely guided and protected, and I make choices that are beneficial for me. I rejoice in others' successes, knowing there is plenty for us all. As we each give, we affirm this offering blessing. Divine love, I am, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am so grateful.
Well, Lorna, I am so grateful for you. Lorna and I just met on the phone. Let's see, Wednesday was it? I don't know when it was. Wednesday, Thursday, this week, and then she was willing to jump in. We're doing something new with COVID time, and for safety purposes and so on. That the platform people from this point on, for a while anyway, instead of going live in person at a sanctuary, will be live in person on Zoom, and we're zooming in. But what's really amazing is, here I am in Unity Village, and Lorna, here you are in Gaithersburg area, and then our peeps, our congregants, wherever you are, there you are. How about that? That's a concept. And so we're really excited about that. And so we want to give thanks to all of those of you who've given and so on. And normally we would have some more music right now. I do want to give a shout out to our music team. And before I was even hired at Gaithersburg, I checked out your YouTube Sunday services, and I love your music. Your musicians are very talented and committed, and I've talked with them, and we're looking forward, I am anyway, to having some that incredible music back. And it was very interesting to see what we were going to do today, wasn't it, Lorna? And so here we are, and this is what we've done. And we're not done yet. We got a couple of things that are really wonderful. As you know, we close many Unity services, those of you who've been here a while, and quite often many ministries sing this powerful, powerful spiritual anthem, let there be peace on earth, a peace that we are called to be. And so we're going to hear an incredible version of that in a moment, and then we'll have the prayer for protection, and we'll have a benediction. And so I'm going to go, Lauren, go ahead. Yep.
Steve, before we close out, maybe you could just remind folks once again about our gathering after service.
Oh, yes.
And how to get the link.
Yes, thank you for that. I do have a slide on that. We're going to get back to those, but that we're doing something new. It's called Heart to Heart Fellowship. My heart to your heart, and your hearts to everyone's heart. And it's pretty unscripted. It's really like, well, what would you do on a Sunday after a Sunday service when we were back in the sanctuary? After the service ended, what would you do? And sometimes people would like to talk a little bit about the music, or talk about the message or meditation, or particularly connect with one another. And so all that is available right at 12:15 thereabouts. And linked to this is in the newsletter that just came out. And it's called Heart to Heart Fellowship, and we'll see you there. So we have a wonderful version of the peace song that we're going to hear right now. Here's part of it. Share. And this is by the Voices of Hope Children's Choir. I just discovered it yesterday.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, we are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, may this feed my soul aloud. To take each moment and live each moment with peace with
Ah, 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 so beautiful. Angels, Voices of Hope.
Peace on earth, and let it begin
Well, folks, I'm trying to find the prayer for
with
protection.
me. Let the peace on earth.
I'll tell you, I'm just totally sorry about this. It's somewhere, the present moment. Oh, there's the present moment. Okay. So, if you're still with us, let's imagine that we're holding our hands, and at the one level, our hearts and minds are already connected with our brothers and sisters in unity, and also everyone on the planet. And how about it? Beyond people, in all creation, there is spirit. And so as we know this is true, we are called to remember that we are forever protected, we are one, and there is no separation. As we say together the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And all is absolutely well. Amen. Well, we send you love and light from Unity of Gaithersburg, and wherever you are as part of the Gaithersburg community is the right and perfect place. And I'll say for myself, I love you, and we send you love and light. And enjoy this snow day, and we'll see you next month. God bless.